In the movies, police officers are often portrayed as shooting to kill, but in real life, most police officers will serve their entire career without shooting anyone, and when he or she does, the decision to fire may haunt an officer who starts to show signs of post-traumatic stress. That's when a police officer may need professional help. Bob McKenzie continues our report on the road to recovery for some first responders.
Police officers don't get sent to tea parties, as a rule. They get sent where there's trouble and conflict and sometimes danger. Sometimes they have to go where chaos reigns, where they might be shot or where they might have to shoot someone else. With luck, a cop comes through these experiences physically intact, but the interior damage can be devastating. It's called cop stress. It can be fatal, and it almost was for Rick Clary. In his 22 years as a patrol officer, Rick had faced flying bullets more than once and had returned fire. But it isn't something you get used to. At 3 a.m., he was at home when a woman officer just a few blocks away called in to say that a man in a pickup truck was firing a rifle at passing cars and had just taken a shot at her. Rick got in his car and drove to the scene.
The dog was barking, lights and siren were going. I just put the radio down when I heard this loud explosion. I looked to my right, and there he was standing there. As soon as I looked, he fired another round off. I saw the flash. Even though the window was up, I swear I felt the heat from the flash.
1199, shots fired, 1199. Rick, did you see him?
I came down Anderson, and I knew I had to engage this person because now he was just shooting randomly at any cars.
Clear all the traffic out. Get the goddamn traffic out. Don't let anybody in here. He's firing randomly at all cars.
And he was still in the intersection, right about where that truck's pulling out, and I could see the flashes going off, and I realized I was too close, so I started backing up, and I was going a lot faster than this. And I kept backing up, hoping there was nobody behind me. I wasn't looking behind me. I was watching these flashes. I counted 7 flashes. And I got to right here, adjacent from here, and I figured this is a safe distance. I had my rifle up here, so I pulled the rifle out, and I exited the car. And when I brought the rifle up, he came right into the scope, and so I fired 3 rounds at him. And then he went down, and it didn't look like I hit him at first. And when he went down, he fell behind a knoll.
I'm returning fire. I think he's down. He's on the corner. He's a white male. A brown jacket. Rick, do you have a view on him? Stay right there, Rick. Don't get closer.
Rick spent the next 20 minutes crouched behind his patrol car with a cocked rifle before he learned that the suspect was dead. Over the ensuing weeks, he started developing behavior changes.
I started withdrawing from my family very seriously. And I got to a point where I couldn't find anything that would make me happy. I lost contentment. So I started drinking. And I went to drinking, and I didn't realize how serious it was until I would wake up in the morning not remembering what I did the night before.
Rick's wife worried about his drinking, his moodiness, his gradual isolation from her and their sons and their friends. But she knew what the cause was.
You know, as much as you could tell somebody a hero, they still took a life, you know, and whether anybody knows it or not, it affected him greatly. He could have this hard exterior shell, and some guys said, oh, you know, you're a hero, you're a warrior, and some guy said to him, how could you shoot somebody?
Rick had the good luck to have a chief, Mike Conan, who recognized he was in trouble.
And Rick had been subjected to a number of very serious and traumatic incidents, and he'd also been subjected to years of the kind of corrosive effect that police work has on people. And it got to the point in Rick where he was beginning to evidence some behaviors that are real markers for future trouble.
I was in the next group to be promoted, and he called me in his office. He says, Rick, You're one of the best cops we have. However, I want to promote you. But you got some issues you have to deal with. You have some baggage. And until you get that baggage taken care of, I can't promote you. So I want you to go to WCPR.
The counseling is done by cops and firefighters who have lived through trauma themselves.
You know, whether you're a policeman, firefighter, dispatcher, nurse, you're a caretaker. And you go through a critical incident or incidents or cumulative stress, you come out to our retreat, and the peers who have the experience and the knowledge can sit there and just watch them. And we watch them try to start helping others. And you have to pull them aside and go, knock it off. This is your 5 days to take care of yourself. Quit taking care of other people. It's a very natural response for them to take care of others, not themselves.
Rick believes that what he learned there can help him deal with what has happened to him.
The Friday I got back, my wife was with my youngest son. She left. She went to go pick my oldest son, who was 8 at the time. My youngest son was 6. And it was just Ricky and I, my youngest son, and I remember, excuse me, I remember telling him that I'm better now and that Daddy's going to quit drinking and move on. And he lit up like a Christmas tree, jumped in my lap and said, Daddy, I'm so proud of you.
We put these people in harm's way. I think we have an obligation to do what we can to restore them when we've harmed them.
I thanked Mike once, I'll thank him 100 times. That decision probably saved my life. I know it saved my career, it saved my marriage, but it probably saved my life because I was on a spiral down.
I don't know how you can go wrong when you're trying to help somebody, okay? Particularly somebody that, you know, the police department is complicit, at least, okay? We put these people on a very, very difficult job. Surely they sign up for it, they ask for the job, they test for it, they want it. But I think that we have to do more to protect them from the effects of it over long term. And I don't think that we're very proactive about that. I don't think we're anywhere near as aggressive about it as we need to be. And frankly, I don't think we're being responsible about it. Our people get into trouble, and what happens is we immediately shift gears and turn that into the discipline situation, which is very adversary and is a barrier to really getting it effective treatment. You know, it's crazy, but we talk about community policing and about getting at the root of problems to solve things, and yet we're blind to that within our own organizations.